All right, what's going on, guys? I'm very happy to say that Shift Gear is back after a couple weeks off. I'm sorry to say though that Aneil and I are really bad at recording. So there is an episode, but it cuts out a couple times. We maybe missed like 10 minutes off the episode, but instead of just not releasing again, we wanted to make sure you guys get Shift Gear. So next week we will hopefully get better at recording. But for this week, hopefully you guys enjoy what we have. Best of luck at LAIC if anyone's competing there. And yeah, enjoy the episode for now.
Wagwan Generals. We heard y'all. It's very loud and clear. I got yelled at a lot of times this weekend. I'm sure Kieran got yelled at too, that we were dodging shift gear. And yeah, we were. Yeah, I was a little ghost, I can't lie. So we're back. We're back on shift gear. Appreciate y'all sticking with us. It was a long few weeks, just life stuff going on and all that. So we're back. We're talking Pokemon once again, unfortunately or fortunately for those who are watching. I'm sure there'll be some banterous moments along the way as well. But we're back. We've returned. I'm gonna show real quick. I'm sorry, Karen. I got to show just at the beginning here. I just got to shout out my own channel that I started because I need mans to go over there badly. We're down bad right now. I just started my own channel. I'll link it down below, guys. We put the live episode that we did from Vegas in there. Just if you guys don't mind checking it out, hitting the sub button. I know we have a lot of traffic through Shift Gear, so I'm gonna start doing like podcasts on there. I'm gonna start doing like some deck stuff on there. I really want to get more into like the kind of the content verse, so it would be really helpful if you guys went over there and checked it out. I think the live episode was really jokes. It was really different, I would say, having an audience like live as you were there. And like Kieran, obviously you weren't with us. Hopefully next time or something you can come out. But yeah, it was super different. I can't even begin to tell you. Like you specifically would have been like, "Yo, this is crazy," because you like say something and there's people looking at you like in live moments. You know how your joke is received or not received. So definitely very eye opening.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
where are you reporting from right now?
yeah, I'm recording from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I was at the SP on the weekend. That's why I wasn't in Vegas. I knew a lot of people went to the live event. They said it was really fun. So yeah, I'm hoping that eventually, I can do one together. Maybe at Toronto or something one year, since that's a bit easier for me to do. But yeah, I'm in Buenos Aires. Had a special event on the weekend. I got top 32 at that. I blew 2 win-ins, which is nice. And then I'm going to Sao Paulo tomorrow, or I guess the day this airs, for LAIC. So yeah, Buenos Aires is one of my favorite cities in the world, honestly, that I've been to. I really enjoy it here. So spending just under a week here, and then we got LAIC, and then I'm going to Stuttgart straight from Sao Paulo. So 3 weeks away from home. It's definitely a grind, but it'll be fun since we have like a month and a half off until Toronto. Coming
Yeah.
up. So it's good.
Yeah, I low key forgot that I was coming back to Toronto and I came back in shorts. I was just wearing shorts in Vegas and I'd landed back. I'm like, yo, it is freaking freezing. But yeah, no, the that's a crazy travel schedule. You're gonna be going all over the place. The event was sick though. I just wanted to touch on it real quick. Like I've done event planning in the past. So like my old job was like I worked at the university and we did like a lot of sports events. So we would do like flag football or whatever, like whatever the event was. And we've had so many times where like the reaction's really good. Like right out of the gate, people see promo, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna do that. And people don't sign up. They're not serious, whatever. Bro, people were serious for this event. Like I'm talking, we started at 5. There were mans outside at like 4:45. We had 67 people, I believe, sign up. Lots of interaction, people coming, like testing on the side, getting drinks. Like it was everything that like Shift Gear wants it to be. It was like the perfect Shift Gear episode. Just missing you next time you come out. But it was like absolutely perfect. We had such good vibes, and like the whole recording's on my YouTube. You can check it out there. But the following money match was hilarious because it was Rowan versus LDF. And Rowan, obviously, very accomplished player. Like he's a very good player, but LDF is the king of jank, and we banned the top 10 meta decks from being
Okay.
involved in this money match. Okay, and it was best of 5. You could only play garbage, and you had to keep switching decks. You couldn't play the same deck
Yeah,
like
conquest
more
format.
than twice.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, some guy was buying me drinks. I didn't pay that much attention to what was going on. But it was jokes, and like I'm trying to find a way to like mute it or talk over it because what was being said was not YouTube appropriate. Like whatever, I gave the mic to some mans at some point. They went crazy, and like I don't know even know if I was being PG at that point. Probably not. But it was hilarious. There was like at one point it was like Garchomp versus like Venusaur, and then there was like a Palafin deck. Anyways, it was jokes. Ron ended up winning. He won $350.
Nice.
which basically the people's tickets just funded Rowan's money. Like, I don't think we made a dime off that event, but the event will be back. We're gonna do it again. We're looking at a couple locations right now. I got the little debrief with Mr. Jank Geodude, the guy who put it together. So shout out, bro. I'll put his links down below. But yeah, I've been chilling for about 5 minutes now, so I'll shut the hell up and we can talk about Pokemon.
No, you're good. I think people enjoyed the early episode banter. I mean, we haven't had an episode for a couple of weeks, so we've missed out on a lot of important topics, bro. We can skip over the
Yeah,
Blue Jays loss. We skipped that week.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, we don't have to
I
go into that.
actually that was a lot of the reason why I went absent for a while too.
Yes, you didn't want to talk about that.
I went complete like I had wellness checks in my DMs because I tweeted. I forget what I tweeted. I tweeted like 3 more outs or something when the Jays were 3 outs away, and then I just went ghost for a week, and people thought I was unwell, like which I was. I legit went nonverbal for like 3 days. I didn't respond to anybody. I didn't even know what to say, and like after 3 days, it hit me with the okay. I'm happy we got there whole thing, but the first 3 days was really hard.
Yeah, no, I was in Gdansk. I had to wake up at like 2 in the morning or 2:30 to watch, and like just what a wasn't worth staying up for. I tweeted as a joke, like I watched like the Raptors highlights after they lost that game, to cleanse the palate, to
Yeah.
feel good again.
It had to be Jeff Hoffman, dude. It had to be
Oh
freaking
yeah,
Jeff Hoffman.
and like to like literally
Ah,
the lamest guy to Miguel Rojas, like just a horrible human being and a horrible guy to give the home run up to. Ugh, you hate to see
I hate
it.
that guy,
I
man.
hate
I
that
knew
guy
when
too.
Rojas came in, I was like, this guy's gonna be a problem. Like you could tell when he pinched in. I think it was like in game 4 or something. He came in for the first time. You're like, this guy at some point is gonna bite us in the ass. And he turned that play on Clement at home or Falefa at home, right? Just disaster. He bit us twice. He
Yeah,
hit the weight tying home run and then pinched him out at home. Just absolute disaster. I'm still gonna be wearing my like Jays World Champs merch, very loud and proud. I'm so proud of that team and what they did. But yeah,
yes,
sports is freaking cruel, dude. There's nothing that'll like ruin your week like that. And I just like got over it, like a little bit ago. Like still, I watch the highlights, and I think everyone's very similar in Toronto. It's like I don't want to see anything about this team right now. Like just please, just get it off my
yeah,
feed until I get over this.
yeah.
So
But it was definitely
yeah,
fun month for the city. Good vibes, all that. They'll hopefully be back. But yeah, just I know we had to address that just since we're a Toronto podcast. Uh,
yeah, brought the price of Leafs tickets way down, which is awesome. And the
yes,
problem is the Raptors are firing on all cylinders now. I can't get a cheap ticket
7 of 8.
anymore, but yeah, 7 of 8, man. I bought the Ingram jersey, the Ingram purple Raptors jersey, the day he signed his extension, and he didn't play last year at all. And people were like, "Yo, you wasted so much money." And now, like, I'm sending the video of him postering that guy last night to every man, bro. I'm like, "Don't talk to me. This guy's Bi is the truth, and he's bringing Glorilla to Toronto, bro. Come on now, that's the big,
Yeah, they have
big
her. They
stuff."
have her courtside. She actually shows up to a lot of games. I'm kind of surprised because
Yeah,
normally,
yeah,
you think like superstars don't show up, or I guess like artists. But no, it's cool. It's good to see. Good to see that. So I'm definitely very happy that my Raptors are back for now. Hopefully they keep it up. But
good team, man.
yeah, good team. All right, but let's hop to Pokemon, Aneil. We do have one of the biggest tournaments of the year coming up this weekend in a few days, actually. So I will be competing. You'll unfortunately be watching from home, but I'm sure
Fortunate.
you'll be very engaged with it. So we had 2 tournaments this weekend. I mean, I think Vegas is the main one. Buenos Aires SP, we don't even have the decks on Limitless yet. So we're gonna have Vegas to go off of, and we'll kind of talk about how that's going to lead into LAIC. And then the week after LAIC, we're going straight to Phantasmal Flames format in Stuttgart. So that'll be definitely very interesting. Whatever happens at LAIC might not really have that much of an effect going into the next week. So why don't we start off with Vegas? I mean, a star-studded top cut, which I feel like we've been saying like every single top cut this season. It feels like there's like a group of players that have like clearly separated themselves from the pack here. Like just reading off like the top 5 here, just like Tord, Liam, Henry, Ryuki, and Abon. Like those are the 5. Like Tord has first and second now. Liam has first and second. Chow has second top 4. Ryuki has first top 4. Abon has top 8, first, second, second. So just crazy runs for all these guys. Really showing that like skill is like the most important thing in this game. Like we always talk about how much variance there is, and obviously you do need to get a little bit lucky to make top cut go on these runs. But just that these guys are doing it day in day out, I think that's the biggest takeaway for me, basically from what I've been seeing this far in the season. Like I don't know about you, Aneil, but it feels like the game is in such a good spot where the best players are consistently like rising to the top. It feels like.
Yeah, I think it's a byproduct of tournaments being so big. It's like uh, these top players are less likely to encounter other top players for a longer amount of time in their run. And I think where you'd see a little bit more variance is like where the tournaments are smaller. Like I go back to like a tournament like Milwaukee or like Vancouver, or like those like smaller ones where like you rarely see this like kind of top eight plan out. There's a lot of like different people, a lot of different decks and whatever. And when the events are smaller and you're more likely to hit an above average player, I think this whole thing goes down a little bit. The likelihood of these like top cuts being so star studded, but at the same time, it's such a testament to these guys and all these folks that are doing so well that like they're consistently up there. It shows to me that the game is in a good place. It shows to me that we're in a spot where skill is being reflected accurately. People have their decks and they run with it. I've been of the mind in this format, and like I totally just abandon this idea for the tournament itself. But I've been of the mind that you should just play the deck that you're best at, especially in a format like this where there's so much variance and things going up and down. And rarely do things have a direct counter, i.e., cornerstone, like stuff like that, only affects a certain percentage of decks. Like there's not. If you play Dragapult into Guardy Jelly, whatever, you're still going to win 40% of the time or 35% of the time, whatever it is, right? Rarely are things just hard countered. And I think because of that, people should just stick to the decks that they know best. I was saying this to my buddies in the Uber on the way over that I was like, this tournament specifically, like Vegas, is going to favor the people who play the most amount of Pokemon because nobody is thinking about Pokemon. When you get to Vegas, you're just out, you're having fun. And the people who are most prepared and are the most locked in are the ones who are going to get carried the farthest here because you're not going to spam testing last second. You're not staying home on Saturday night. It was. Crazy place to have a regional, and like I was personally just so tapped out. It was so bad. I didn't even care a little bit about Pokemon, and maybe that was a byproduct of the event happening, and I was just so focused on that, wanting to have that go well. But I played Dustpult, and it was just like such a waste of time. It just felt like I should have just played Gardevoir or something I knew and just try to carry off that because I wasn't focused. The people around me weren't focused. I would sit down. People were already talking about like what drinks they're gonna have after the tournament. I've never seen that in my life at Pokemon. So it was definitely a very interesting location. I think these people at the top were definitely the most prepared for the tournament, and it shows.
Yeah, I have a feeling Tord is focused on the tournament more so than that stuff. Who knows though? Maybe
I
Tord went.
agree.
He saved the celebration for Sunday. Liam, I don't even think Liam's
Hmm.
21 yet, so hopefully Liam was more locked in on the tournament. But we'll start at the top, and you'll start with Tord. I mean, I think the Absol deck had a big rebound this weekend. There's 3 in the top 16, slightly different builds, but all strong players. We had Tord, like debatably the GOAT. You had Ryuki, like probably Japan's best player, and we had Fernando Cifuentes, former world champion, also in the ASIM with the deck. So let's start with Tord's build. I think the biggest thing for Tord is he kind of went back to his Milwaukee build, double corner. I know the Ryuki won Brisbane regionals without the cornerstone. But I think going into this weekend, I think Golden Go had a lot of hype. I think Golden Go was really well positioned. I mean, I played Golden Go at my SP. So I think Tord just basically respected the Dango. But one thing I was a bit interested about is like a lot of Dengos were playing counters, like the list that won, like Magda won Gdansk with Mega Mawile. We've seen Mega Lucario in the deck. So I was a bit curious actually going the weekend if Absol players would play the corner or not. I made the guess that people wouldn't, and then I ended up losing my win and into cut to Cornerstone in Absol at my tournament. But I think it was definitely correct for this weekend, and we saw a lot of Dango in day 2. So I don't have a lot to say about Tord's list. I think it was just like basically like he just respected Golden Go, and I think it paid off for him. What about you, Aneil? Anything to say about Tord's list here?
Not really. I think it's so impressive that he can just come out and say, "I'm going to play this and play it and still win the tournament." And like, look at that. He's undefeated. Like, just destroyed everybody. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, we have this conversation once every 6 months. It's time to have it again. Like, this guy might be the best player ever. Think we're at that point now.
Yeah.
It's just constant results, constant innovations. Like, this guy is he's built so different. So hats
Yeah,
off to
it
Tord.
is crazy impressive. Just year in and year out, what this guy accomplishes. Uh, so yeah, I mean, like yeah, going undefeated as well. 16-0-2. I think I saw someone tweet that this tied Liam for like most match points in tournament history from Liam's win in
Crazy.
Pittsburgh. So really, really impressive stuff. But yeah, let's jump maybe Aneil to second place. Liam, sticking with his Zoroark deck that he won Pittsburgh with, or the archetype, I guess. And bringing the 2/2 Darmanitan. There's 2 reversals. A really aggressive list. There's the Power Glass, right? So he isn't playing as like a defensive build as we've seen from. I think we saw like Piper made top cut in Lille. We saw a couple. I think Gabriel Fernandez made top cut as well in Lille, and I forget someone else made cut in Gdansk with Zorak as well. And those lists were more focused on more higher monkey counts. Piper had the 2-1 Darmanitan, so it almost feels like Zorak's gone full circle. Like this is how the deck was built when like it first came out. So yeah, I'm not a huge Zorak player. I don't know if you are, Aneil, but what are your thoughts on Zorak or specifically Liam's build here?
Yeah, so the week before Vegas, I didn't know what to play, and so I talked to Julian and Piper. I'm like, yo, guys, sell me on Zorak. They did a really good job. Piper sends me her guide, and I'm like, all right, thanks, bro. And then I go and I read it. I've never felt so stupid in my life. Like I FaceTimed her like from the event. I'm like, why would you ever send me this? It was so well written. It was so good that it made me feel so dumb, like not being able to pick this up. And it's a fantastic guide. Like 100% everybody should buy it. It is a great guide, but it shows you how complex this deck is. And now that Vegas is done, now that I'm not going to LAIC, I have some time to learn. I'm definitely planning on going back and learning Zorak, because you can see like from these top players, from Piper, from Liam, from all these people playing Zorak, once you get really, really good at it, it's really hard to stop. The deck has so many tricks, and a pilot that understands how to get the best out of the deck is better with this deck than any other deck, because this deck is so game plan heavy. It's so like you're not gonna just half-ass this and do well. So for a perspective of Liam, like yeah, like I don't see why he wouldn't run this back. The 2/2 Darmanitan helps deal with a lot. I know that that's your only real answer to Sarah Ledge, and that was picking up some steam coming into the weekend. So
Dango
having
too,
the
I
double
think.
backdraft. Sorry?
Dango too, I think, is super important.
Yeah, both. Definitely like well the problem is like Dengo you can maybe sometimes beat without it. With Sarah Ledge, good luck.
Yeah.
You're so cooked. But yeah, I get what you're saying. So yeah, the double Darmanitan definitely a meta call. I don't know how many he hit. A few Goldengos there for sure.
He lost a shout out friend of the pod, Drew Allen. I know Drew started 8-0 and then he hit way too many
Yeah, I saw
cornerstones.
that. Yeah, that's fire, bro. Shout out Drew.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely an answer into both of those. And Dango or sorry, Zorak is so cool, man. I can't speak enough about how cool that deck is. And if you want to learn it, go look at Liam's guide, look at Piper's guide. I haven't read Liam's guide personally, but I'm sure it's very, very good. Go have a look at it. Cool deck. But definitely the Darmanitan felt like the right call for the weekend. I know a couple others played it as well, so makes sense.
Yeah. No, for sure. Super good deck. It's a deck that'll never like become super popular because, like you're saying, it's just so difficult to pick up, for sure. So, other thing we saw, Henry Chow made his return to top cut. I mean, Henry was slacking there. I think he went a couple months without a top cut, so he had to remind us he hasn't fallen off.
I'm serious.
This time with the Jelly Guardy, and I think one thing, I think you and I said on the pod that we both think that Jelly Guardy has always been the stronger version of Guardy in the current meta. And I was just taking a peruse through like the standings, and like you can see Jelly Guardy like dominated top 32. There was I think 8 out of 32 spots is Jelly Guardy, so 25%. And I think this is just like in response to Golden Go. I think normal Guardy is just like it has a really tough Goldengo matchup. I think Jelly Guardy has a very good Goldengo matchup. And Henry went with the more aggressive version of Jelly, where it plays the Latios to really try and get those turn 1 Frilishes. You can like cheese a lot of games. Like if your opponent goes first and just doesn't do anything, turn 1 Frilish and like the game's not over, but you can like be in a very winning position. So it's a little sketch to only play 2 Ralts, but I get the logic. If we're really focused on the Frilish or item locking, it's kind of hard for your opponent to knock out Ralts right away. Once you get jealous and established, it's not the end of the world that Guardy goes down. So just more innovation from Henry Chow and co. We also saw his teammate Abon in top 8 with the same 60s. So yeah, I guess, going into LAIC, do you think Jelly picks up even more steam than where it's been? It seemed to be, like the ratio seems to normally be about, like it's 1/3 of the Guardy percentage, and then the other 2/3 is just normal Guardy. But do you think finally, like Jelly Guardy is going to take over with the masses, or do you think people are just going to stick with normal Gardevoir?
I think for the first time in a long time, people are starting to understand this is the better version of Gardevoir. Maybe the first time ever. People are starting to realize this. This was part of the reason why I didn't play Gardevoir. I just understood this is just better than normal Gardevoir. And I don't have reps with this. I know a lot of folks are kind of in similar place. Like, you want to play Gardevoir. There's so many people that are familiar with Gardevoir. And then this is a new take on Gardevoir, which is not impossible to pick up. It's not like the craziest deck in the world. You're quite literally just item locking and doing more oppressive stuff. But I think a lot of normal Gardevoir players like myself were kind of just pushed off the deck because you understand this one is just better. And if this deck is just better, but if it's a mirror match that you can take and beat as regular Gardevoir, I think you can still stick with your guns. But beating this with regular Gardevoir is very, very difficult. And so this is going to be a very popular deck in the room. Dragapult now has answers to a lot of the stuff you do as straight Gardevoir as well, right? Especially if you're cheating on your TM Evos and they play double tower, so good luck. And then the Mega Absol deck has answers for you, and you can't beat Goldengo, or at least regularly will lose to it as straight Gardevoir. So it was a really tough sell going into that tournament to play straight Gardevoir, right? And I think a lot of people kind of realize that. A lot of people were playing this. You'll see in McConaughey's list as well. I was talking to him the night before. He plays the Flutter main. Like, people were trying to get really, really creative in ways to beat Zoroark and beat Goldengo and stuff, to the point where it's just like, why don't you just play Guardy Jelly? Like, it's probably just the better thing to play. And I think we're finally there where people are getting it. And the Guardy Jelly is exactly what we thought it would be when Jelly got released. And I think it's starting to come around.
Yeah, I think basically what everyone we figured out now is just like Frillish is just like such a good attacker.
Yeah.
The Jelly's obviously good, but like Frillish is so good. The one funny thing about this list is like you have to Turtle the Latios or else you can't Frillish shuffle. But
Oh, true.
yeah, it's definitely super solid. I mean, I assume Henry beat a bunch of Dengos. Let's see actually his matches. He lost to Grim, which makes sense. Then he tied to Mega Absol, which actually that game was on stream. I watched it. Yeah, like lots of dubs here against the Dengos. And like even if it's kind of hard to tech for Jelly Guardy. You have to either play like Lana's 8 or you have to play Mawile. I played just Fontenot's top 4 Gdansk list with the Lana's 8 for my tech, and even then the matchup's still like kind of tricky. Like, did Moffat play? Yeah, like Moffat had no tech for Jelly Guardy, so I'm not surprised that Chow kind of just ran through him in top cut. I mean, I don't know what happened in their game, but I assume. I mean, he actually had Levincia.
Yeah.
That was his Jelly Guardy tech, I guess. Which we can actually maybe if we want, just jump to Dango next, because I think Dango had a very good weekend. They haven't posted the list yet from Buenos Aires, but like top tables was like over 50% Dango at that tournament. I hit like 4 or 5 mirrors. I think I hit 4. And same thing here in Vegas. Only one made it to top 8, but I think there was a lot in top 16. When I looked at the day 2 percentage, I think it was the highest deck in day 2. It was also the highest deck in day 1, or meta percentage deck. So lots of different builds. I do think Prime Catcher was the most popular, but we did see this list here with the Secret Box and the Levincia. So, I mean, I'd probably play more Dango than you, Aneil, but what are your initial impressions on this Dango? Do you have a favorite version? And where do you think it kind of like sits maybe going into this weekend?
I think a lot of us realize that Dengo's in a really, really good spot, right? I've said this on the pod before, I just find the deck really, really boring. I find it really hard to play because I just find it boring. I think if I was in a right mind where I wasn't biased in any way, I think I probably would have played Dengo going into the weekend. Like, if I was in a space where I was like, I don't care how good I am with any deck, I just pick up one and play it, like, I'd probably play Dengo because it just seems like the best deck on paper. And whether or not the deck is fun to play, that's another story. Like, you are kind of it is actually very similar to Lugia in a lot of ways. You're very much at the mercy of what you're drawing sometimes, and it does feel kind of like that way. It's obviously not identical or anywhere.
I wish
really
Lugia
that
had
close.
onboard draw.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. But yeah, so yeah, I think the deck is really, really good. If you don't know what to play, I think this is a good deck to kind of pick up. I would also give a shout out to Nick Moffat's list pick, which did you see it, Karen?
Was it the one at the roulette table or the craps table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were all together following his top 8, and he's like, yo, I really want to put my list, or I want to put up like something casino based on my list. So I went to go play blackjack, and then next thing I knew, Maddox was like begging some like casino dealer to let us use the roulette table for Nick Moffat to make his list pick. And for whatever reason, I was like, guys, there's no way this guy's gonna allow this. The dealer allowed it. He's like, yo, just go quick.
Did you guys tip him like
They-
nice?
I don't even know what they did. I disassociated because I didn't want to get kicked out of the casino. I was like, I'm trying to play blackjack and gamble, but looked like they just got it down, and then the dealer.
Okay, this is where the audio cuts out the first time. So now we're gonna go to the next part. So that's why I just randomly jumps topics.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Tip Your Podcast. Apparently, we forgot how to record a podcast in our time off. In the meantime, I wanted to give a shout out to whatever this is. I think it's Texas Christian University. I saw this in a hat store and I really liked it, so now I'm a Texas Christian. So shout out that university.
So actually, Neil, I'm only recording my screen now, so people can't see TCU. But shout out TCU.
What?
Okay,
yeah,
wait,
shout out
one sec. I
TCU.
can bring it back to here. Okay, shout out TCU.
Yeah. Shout out TCU right there. I made sure to, I was wearing a Tennessee hoodie and had this on, so I pissed off as many people as possible as I was walking around. And apparently, the team name, I don't remember if it's It's like the Horn Bulls or
It's the
some
Horned Frogs,
some
isn't it?
Horn Frog. Yeah, it's a really jokes name, so I might be a Horn Frog fan
Do
now.
you know why I
Anyways,
know
just
that,
want to get
Aneil?
why? Why do you know that?
My high school basketball coach, she played on the TCU basketball team.
Yo, let's go. That's
So
sick.
shout out Miss
Yeah, I
Rossi if
just,
she's
dude, I
listening
just
to this
like the
podcast,
logo.
which she's definitely not. But
Yeah. Yeah, the T just reminded me of like Toronto. I was like, yo, this is cool, bro. And it's purple. I was like, this is so dope. I gotta buy this. So shout out the Horn Frogs. I just
yes,
wanted to
shout
shout
out to
that out.
TCU. Uh,
Before people, because yo, the thing I always forget about going to America is people are very passionate about like colleges and universities, right? So you like walk around, and if you wear any merch, people who are a fan of that will like call it out. I have an ongoing tally in one of my group chats with my boys because I love to wear that Tennessee crew neck that I have that I bought in Knoxville. I like the color and like I follow the Vols a little bit. But everywhere I go, bro, it's like, yo, go Vols. And they're like, yo, you from Tennessee? I'm like, no, the hell, I am not from Tennessee. But it's so funny to see how passionate like people get over it. So I always like to address it like, yo, I'm not a Horned Frogs fan. I just need to tell the public before people start coming up to me, be like, yo, go Horned Frogs, because all the go Vols are getting kind of overwhelming at this point. So that part's always hilarious.
nice. I actually I wore my River Plate jersey on Sunday, and actually a lot of people at the venue were like, "Why are you a River Plate fan?" Like they're actually like beefing.
Yeah, yeah, they'll book you, man. They'll
Yeah.
book you.
So
It's not as passionate here. People don't care. Like if I saw you walking around in like a York University sweater, I wouldn't
no,
care.
I wouldn't care. Yeah.
But down there, yeah, it's serious business.
Yep. So that was just funny. But okay, where were we talking about Pokemon? I think we were looking at Charizard or something, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
something like that.
Yeah, we're looking at Charizard. So Charizard's cool. I mean, there's lots of Guardy. If Cornerstone gets popular again, that is a bit annoying. So maybe like a Heroes Gate build like this one from Matthew with maybe you play Ho or something is maybe the way you have to go heading into LAIC. But yeah, otherwise, honestly, like the top 32 was not that diverse. It was just like these decks that we kept seeing. There's some more Zoroark, some more Absol, some more Guardy. Didn't really feel like anything crazy was going on, to be honest. And actually, a lot of the Dengos were
Yeah, I felt
confined. There's
so
no
much.
Dengos outside of top cut, actually. Was there? Yeah, there's no Dengos besides in top 32 besides top 16, the three in top 16. So very,
There you go.
very
I don't know.
interesting.
Like I feel like the format is very well defined now, right? We all know what's good and what's not, and I think you just play what you're good at. And like some of those like off fringe decks, like Flareon and Terrabox and stuff like that, like Ledge even, those are the decks that kind of fall out a little bit when you get towards the top of the tournament. Like people know kind of how to play around those decks' weaknesses and stuff. They're just not as complete as some of the other decks and as refined. And it's funny because like you look at like the Paltnor list, for example, and like 3 out of 4 lists are the exact same 60 because everything is just so well refined at this point in the format that like why would you change anything? It's perfect. So I'm not really that surprised to see the top being what the top is. Like it's they're just the best decks. There's not much else to say about it.
Yeah, let me ask you this question. Is there any deck maybe like on the fringes right now that you think could have a big placement or is like due to outperform where it's currently sitting in the meta percentages? Or do you think kind of we've established what the tier 1 and 2 decks are of the format?
I really think I think Flareon's really good. Like I don't know. Like maybe I'm just deluded at this point because I love that deck, but I genuinely think its matchups are quite good. In a world where Dragapult has a little bit less meta percentage, I think the deck is in a good position to do well. I don't know how you deal with the Mega Absol stuff. I haven't played the deck in a while into that format, but I think that's a deck that I can see outperforming itself. I think Terrabox is still really good. There's not a lot of Watchtower running around. And then like we talked about, I think Joltik Box is up there too for me personally. I think those are like 3 decks that you could play to LAIC and maybe have a good finish.
I mean, just looking at here, obviously this is imperfect data. Joltik Box did have an above 50% win rate this weekend, as
There you
did
go.
Absol, Guardy Jelly, and Dengo. So yeah, maybe Joltik Box is sneaky play in this format. I don't expect it to be super popular, but definitely think it's like you're saying, like has the chance to break out even more than it did this week. So yeah, if I had to ask you, Neil, like what do you think is going to win this weekend at LAIC? Like which deck do you think you would go with?
Tough. It's hard to ever bet against Gardevoir, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feels really difficult to ever count it out. I feel like Poltner's still in a good spot. I feel like Charizard's kind of low key in a good spot, and we know how South Americans love their Charizard, so wouldn't be surprised to see that one do well. I don't really have a direct answer. I think it's like really hard to predict stuff like this, but if I were to pass on any advice to anyone going to LAIC, I would just say make sure you're playing something you're comfortable with. All these other people are going to be very well tested. There's so much documentation out there now, especially like this burst of like guides and
Hmm.
stuff all over the place. Like, if you need to cheat testing, buy a guide. Like, I don't know, just do what you got to do to get there. But definitely play something you're comfortable with. I think would be my underlying advice. There's been times where in formats where we've sat up here and we've said there is no one great play, and I still think this is true to this format. Like, just play what you know.
Yeah, I think so too. Because you can see, right, like when we just look at the results from tournaments, so there's like it's just so many great players in top cut, and like they all play different decks, right? So that shows like a
Yeah.
healthy metagame where the best players can make it to top cut and they can all play different decks, and I think we've really been seeing that lately. So
Mhm.
yeah, I agree with that, Neil. I think if I had to guess, I'm gonna say we're gonna see probably like Jelly Guardy still do really well at LAIC. Uh, so maybe I'll say Henry Chow's going to win with Jelly Guardy. If I had to give you one guess, uh,
Never a bad choice.
never a bad choice for sure. Um, but yeah, I don't know, any other topics, Anil, you think you want to talk about before we close out
I
this
do.
week?
I do want to implement at some point in my life. I want to start a Pokemon FanDuel where we can bet on people to do well. We've talked about this before. We need to implement some sort of like FanDuel business going on here. I actually took LDF in the money match at minus 150, I think.
You've had LDF as the
Um,
favorite, really? All right, so here's where the episode ends, unfortunately, because I was recording on my super old MacBook since we normally record on my desktop. So yeah, thanks for listening. Sorry the episode cut out short. Catch you next week. Good luck at any tournaments you have this weekend.